Hi, everyone. I'm here to talk to you today about a very important topic. I'm here to talk to you about the power of recognition. Now, it's a known fact that the biggest potential of any company, of any organization, really lies within the people of the organization. In other words, the people in the organization is where all of the future value will really come from, which makes it so much more important to understand how to work with people, how we as people function. Now, when we talk about recognition, we have to understand that recognition is a basic need. Every one of us have a basic need to be seen. We have a need to be understood, and we have a need to be appreciated for who we are and what we do. Napoleon said it very well, even though it was said pretty harsh. He said, "I found out people are willing to die for a medal." There was no amount of money that would make people go into a war where they were very likely to get killed. But having a rank, having an identification would make people go in and do stuff no money could ever get them to do. The good thing is, we don't have to die, but we still need to understand the power of having a proper recognition. Now, when you do recognition, you have to understand that it is not just about a rank. It is not something that only relates to the business. Remember, we have a basic need to be seen, we have a basic need to be understood, and we have a basic need to be appreciated. In other words, recognition is something that can and should take place in every area of your private life and of your business. When we are building a business, when we are building an organization, what we are really doing is we're cultivating, we're building a team, we're building a culture, a way of thinking, a way of behaving. What you want to make sure of is that everyone in your team feels great. You want to make sure that they feel empowered. Why? Because only when we feel good will we start to really do good. Only when we are really empowered will we start to perform and grow as individuals. That in return will grow your organization, it will grow your business, and you as a leader will grow in return as well. Now, it's very important that when we give recognition, it has to be something that is both specific and it has to be personal. Maybe we should have one more point up here, and that should be heartfelt. See, nobody cares about what you know until they know that you care. When you recognize somebody, it's important that you let them know exactly what was it that they did that you appreciated. And then you need to make sure you connect that to their personal character. In other words, you got to make sure that if I do something good in your team, that I realize I did something good, because then I will grow as an active member of your team. Now, when we are talking about recognition, more often than not, in business, we're seeing this in the form of the ranks. And if you look at the ranks, they are very specific. You have to have a certain achievement. You have to have a certain volume, and then we will recognize you for what you have achieved. But remember, it has to be personal. Because even if you talk to the ambassadors, they each have their very own private story. So they all reach something very specific, but they got different ways to get there. They had different journeys, they had different challenges that they all had to overcome. On a daily basis, in your team, you will have people who would like to talk on front, on stage, and you will have people who are working more behind the scenes. But you got to remember, as a leader, it takes all of us to really create the team. Everyone has an important role. This event would not be possible without all of the technicians behind. In fact, this morning when we started the meeting, I can tell you there were only a few who are going to be on stage, but there are more than 20 people running all of this. Without them, none of this would be possible. You have two types of recognition. The first one is a private one. The private recognition is when you pull somebody aside and you let them know what they did was really, really important. What you need to do is you need to then connect that to you. Why was it important to me that you did that? Make sure you get the personal connection, because that really sets free the power of a recognition. The other type of recognition is the public recognition. It has a different power. When you do a private recognition, it needs to be done with the timing right. It needs to be done, in the right environment, so somebody understands it's not something you just say when you pop by, but it's something that you really mean. But a public recognition needs to be in front of people. That's when you take performances in your organization, whether they are related to a rank or they are related to an event or any other activity, and you take that certain someone and you let everyone in your team know why this individual did something very special to serve all of us. Recognition, again, is about being seen. When you make sure as a leader that everyone in your team is seen, that everyone in your team is recognized, everyone will come together for a common purpose. And that is exactly what you're looking for as a leader. Talking about leaders, let's have a look at another great testimonial.